This running is done.
Simone was 6 years old. I just noticed that Simone was very active, hyperactive, and just loved to jump on the furniture, flip around. The daycare had a field trip to Bannon's Gymnastics. This was her first visit in a gym, and Aimee's mother was the one who recognized what she was doing because she was imitating the other girls.
She came back to me. I was coaching team, and she said, Aimee, you have to come see this kid. She's amazing. And because the very first class, Simone decided to do a round-off back handspring on the trampoline because her brother taught her how to do one in the backyard. And I didn't have time to go see her because I was coaching. And I think it was the next week I walked past her and I just noticed her physique and everything and that she couldn't stand still. And kind of that was the beginning of all of it.
I liked it a lot. I guess it's just like always something I did after school and I just like never really stopped.
Sounds painful.
One of her first weeks, she was watching some cheerleaders doing standing back tucks, and she said, I can do that. And I think she was not quite 7. And she said, I can do that. We said, no, you can't. You haven't been taught that. She said, yes, I can. And she stood up and she did it. And the coach she was with, another coach, said, go do it on the beam. And she ran over to the beam and hopped up on a high beam, and we yelled at her, get down. And so we said, do it on the low beam, and she did.
Coach Aimee is like a second mom to me. I mean, she's always been there since I was like 6 years old. So she's like a second mom to me. I can go to her for anything, and we're just like always laughing and goofing off in the gym.
Back handspring, look at the floor.
She kind of knows what I need and that I can't do like such high numbers and all that stuff. And so she's like accommodated for me.
Push it back, push.
She's described me as a second mother to her. You know, I think that's a big role to fill. They're somewhere between being the favorite aunt and the big sister. As she's matured, obviously, we're able to talk about more things and what she's planning to do with her life post-gymnastics and all of that. There have been people that have said that Simone and I came together on a cosmic level. You know, that this is happening to both of us at the same time because of our philosophies, that she brings out the best in me and I bring out the best in her. And it is definitely a journey that we're taking together, you know, that we're growing together.
In the beginning of the year after my shoulder injury, we just kind of, like I cried a lot because I really wanted to compete and stuff like that. But then after that, like Marta talked to me and she's like, well, if you see it's the beginning of the year, we need you for Worlds. So just like take this meet out, it's fine, and go home and focus on your shoulder and rehab. So we did a lot of rehab. And then we just like ramped up for the season after it got better and was just like, if it happened later in the season or if we kept pushing on it because I was like, oh, I can still do it even though it hurts. She's like, no, just take the time off because it could become a bigger problem and that's what we don't want.
The beginning of 2014 was rough for us because she was, you know, battling a nagging injury. It's hard for somebody like that to pull back. So there were days that were very hard, and I said, you know, right now, Simone, we just have each other, you know, and I need to lean on you and you need to lean on me. And when it's hard for us, or if we need to cry or we need to talk, you know, we have each other for that. And if a day of training wasn't going well, it would just, let's just sit down and talk. You know, let's go do something else. We don't have to train full out every day because this is hard. This is a struggle in life, and you have to realize that you're going to face other struggles like this in your life. And so this is a good point to start and figure out, okay, what is my priority right now? You know, and that priority at the moment was taking care of her emotionally.
I talked to my sports psychiatrist and Coach Aimee and my parents that it's okay and not to like not be so sad about it.
After having a rough start this year, it was great to go out and see her accomplish. You know, coming home with 4 gold medals this year and a silver was, I don't want to say it was beyond expectation. I think when we go into these competitions, we don't have an expectation. Our expectation is go out and do what you've trained. You know, don't expect that you're going to do any more, but don't accept that you're going to do any less. It's pretty simple, and then whatever happens, happens. You know, we cheer for everybody that's out competing because everybody has trained hard. And if Simone comes out on top, that's fantastic. And if somebody else comes out on top, we're happy for them because we all understand the struggle that it takes going into this level of gymnastics.
breaking all those records and stuff, I haven't really had time to think about it because then we always have camps, we always have the next step. So I never really have time to like step back and think about it. And even when I do, my answer is like pretty much always the same. I still feel normal. So I don't know what you're supposed to feel. Like I just feel, I guess, excited if I think about it.
I don't think Simone has been able to grasp what she's accomplished, and you know that she is somebody that people will talk about, you know, far after she's done doing gymnastics.
The home world is the same. Expectations for chores and everything else is the same, so it hasn't changed in our home.
I still think, and I think she does too, that she has a lot more to accomplish. So it's hard to look at it if it's the beginning of her senior career. And yes, she's done a lot, but there's still a lot that she can do.
That big event in Rio, we don't really actually talk about it, nor my parents or Coach Aimee. Usually it's like the little girls talking to me about it or like interviews asking me about it, but other than that, I try not to think about it because that's scary.
In reality, we're like, wow, we can't say, well, it's 4 years away anymore. The reality is it's a year and a half away that those decisions are being made and that stuff is being planned. So now it is actually, we have to start thinking about how do we get there.
I've been working on a couple new skills, like on floor I have a double A full out, and then on bars, just another whiler. We haven't really been working anything new that will go into my set towards American Cup. And then beam is pretty much the same. I've just added punch front, wolf jump punch front, and then on vault it should be the same, and I'm working on a Chang as a second vault. Since
we have, you know, competition season is coming up again, now it's easier to focus on, okay, what do we refine, what do we pick for routines, and to get in there to make sure that you show your consistency because you have the reputation of being a two-time all-around world champion.
My goals for AT&T American Cup are to go out there and hit all 4 and put in some new upgrades. So I think it'll be a big crowd and it'll be really fun.